Ben in the probation department. So if you want to follow along on the docket, I'll tell Teresa to. So Teresa, just if you want to update, do you have a docket that you follow?
Yes, but I didn't print it out.
Okay.
So I need to print it out.
Well, it's just sometimes it's easier. It's easy for me to follow along.
Okay. All right. Let me print that out real quick.
Good morning.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Do you have your docket with you? While we're waiting for people to show up, I was going to go through some of the status of some of these people.
And I think real quick, I think Sylvia is in the waiting room.
All right.
All right, Judge, I've got it.
Okay, so the first one on there, August Roberts.
I don't show him on my docket.
He's number one on mine.
Oh wait, CR 27607.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
843
Yes,
probation.
Okay, never mind.
So August Roberts, he's in jail, and I understand they're not going to bring him over.
Okay.
Next one, we don't have Mr. Garvey on here yet. The next one, Angela King, is a motion to revoke. Do you know what the recommendation is?
I think the I printed it. I think the recommendation is revocation.
Okay. And number 4 on the docket, Justin Manley's also a motion to revoke.
Yes.
Calvin Garvey.
Yes, Calvin and I talked about him yesterday.
Oh.
Our recommendation for him also is revocation, but he has a lot of jail time.
And he's got pending felonies at this time as well.
Is he in jail?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, when I went through the jail list yesterday, they didn't tell me he was in jail, so I don't know.
Unless he just got released,
What was the last time?
he's still there.
Let me check. Yeah, he's still in jail.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody's going to do anything with him or bring him over or not. Except
I'd imagine with Calvin, we're just going to reset him again. He's got quite a few felonies pending.
Do you know when any of the felonies are set?
Let's see. I think he was just indicted on one yesterday, so that one. I say he's got quite a few. I think he's only got one. We set it for Tuesday because he's in jail. So just the next one.
Well, these days it's kind of silly now to reset him for a week and then he's just going to reset again.
No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying he's set for the next felony court date currently.
So what's a reasonable period of time you think something might actually happen with Justin Manley's felony?
I know we're still waiting on lab results. That kind of depends upon what Calvin wants to do, really, I think. And I haven't spoken with Calvin about his felony. Oh, actually, I think, is it Calvin or John?
The docket says Justin Manley is Calvin Garvey.
On the misdemeanor, yeah. On the felony, it shows he's appointed to John Anderson. I wonder if there was a mix-up at the jail. He might have got appointed John at the jail.
Okay, well, we may want to ask when they come on, it might be easier if we get just one attorney on all the cases.
Judge, going back to August Roberts, since they're not going to bring him over, do you know when he'll be reset?
I don't know, I guess Mr. Kane just got on here. We're looking at the number one. Whoops, he's not connected yet.
He should be able to hear you, Judge.
We can't hear him.
Travis has a practice of only unmuting when he talks,
Okay.
which is the appropriate thing to do.
Okay, so we're looking at the docket. Number one on the docket is August Roberts, who I understand is not going to be brought over today.
That's correct, Your Honor. He was indicted on a felony case yesterday.
Okay. And
I think that's a capious profile, if I'm not mistaken.
the misdemeanor case is, yes.
Right.
Okay, so what's going to be a reasonable period of time that something might happen with the felony?
We'll probably have him set for tomorrow since he's still in jail. I mean,
then he'll just be reset.
Be set for the 2nd.
Yeah, and so on the 2nd it'd be reset until.
Well, we'll get a lawyer appointed and then see if we can work out the felony. This is a capious profile on the misdemeanor. We ought to just set it 6 or 8 months down the road and see where he's at.
And like I said, I didn't know about this. He got just stuck on the docket yesterday. So, if Mr. Payne is really his attorney, Payne didn't know about today. So.
Are you on August Roberts?
Correct.
Okay, I have not heard from any lawyer about him on his felony case at all.
Well, like I said, I didn't know until yesterday that August Roberts was on the docket. He was not on the docket 2 days ago.
That's correct.
So he just got put on. So no attorney has been given an evite about this setting. So nobody else is going to show up. So how are we going to get a reset to August Roberts for
take one out to the jail?
How logistically, how do we do this? If I write out a reset, how's it going to get out there?
Have it sent to my office and I'll take it out there tomorrow morning.
Okay, so why don't we just reset him to like July 7th?
And if you would put on that is for a capious profile.
Okay, so then number 8 on the docket, Shane Lamond. Have we any updates on anything with him?
Yes, we've got the plea papers done on that. He's up at the jail. I don't know if you sent an invite to the jail, but we may need to forward an invite to the jail so they can get him on Zoom. John Anderson has been up there this morning and visited with Shane Lamond, and he just now left my office to take the plea papers down to Laura in the county clerk's office.
I can forward the invite to the jail.
Okay.
We need to make sure we get you that email, Judge. They have a special email they're using for their Zoom settings.
I didn't have the email for the jail, so I need to get that for the future.
Yeah, they just set it up.
So is Mr. Anderson going to bring plea papers back to Laura, and then he's going to be on Zoom for the plea?
Yes, Laura should have the plea papers by now. John Anderson was going back to his office.
Okay, so we just need to get the jail on board so that they can go through the plea papers. Okay, number 11 on the docket is Dowry Bailey, and I understand he's in the jail but will not be brought over.
That's correct, Your Honor. He's been indicted on a felony case, so he will. This was a misdemeanor case that had been pending against him from before. So we'll be visiting with his lawyer on that, on the felony case as well. We need to probably set him for about 2 months down the road at least.
And so she should give the reset form to you, and then you'll take it to the jail?
Yes, sir. We can get that out to the jail and he can sign it, and or we may give it to his lawyer, one of the two.
Do we know who the attorney is?
We don't show one on the docket yet for him on the felony case.
Okay, then number 13th is Tabitha Walker.
Tabitha Walker's still in jail in Fort Bend County. She has a felony case pending as well. So we'd like to set her for about 3 or 4 months down the road.
How are we going to get the reset to her?
We can also get the jail to take a reset to her. And I thought she had a lawyer on the felony, but I'll have to pull the felony file right quick and look.
Karen Strider. Travis, you're muted again.
I was holding my space bar down. I don't know what happened, but she's in jail. We'd like to set her for next week. She has 2 felony cases on her out of Harris County. They do not have a hold on her yet, but I imagine they will. She is set for court down in Harris County on February the 11th. So we may try to resolve her case for by next week so we can get her out of jail.
Okay, so you're saying you want to see if he's one of those guys. Okay, so you're saying, so she's in jail in Harris County. You want to reset her for next week? What are we going to do next week?
No. She's in jail in Fort Bend, our case. She's in our jail.
Okay.
And so we need to set her for next week. We probably need to get a court-appointed attorney for her.
Yes.
And then try to get her case worked out by next week so we can get her released. So then she can either be taken to to Harris County, or that she can show up down there in Harris County.
Okay. So how are we going to get the court-appointed attorney form to her and get her to sign it in front of the clerk?
I'll notify the jail to get her to get one. And we really ought to go ahead and take the next lawyer who's on the list now and have the court appoint that lawyer, if you don't mind, so we can get this thing rolling.
I would request that too, since she's had past mental issues. It'd be better to get her an attorney without going to the process of having her swear to the form, if that's okay with the court.
Also, I saw in their Harris County cases, they've got her set for some sort of competency evaluation down there. I don't know when that's going to take place, but I think we ought to ship her back down that way or direct her back to Harris County so they can deal with her on those mental issues.
Joe, since I see Mr. Anderson on here.
Yes, Judge. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Good morning. What's the status of Shane Lamont's paperwork?
That is at the clerk's office. The original is at the clerk's office. He's been admonished by myself, fingerprinted, and ready to take a plea, Judge.
Okay. So as soon as, so does the jail?
The jail is waiting on, they know he's going to do a plea. I don't know. They should be on. I told them that we're going to be on at 9 o'clock. So
I just sent them the link, so they just got it.
Ben,
okay.
would you call the jail, Ben, and tell them to check their email and try to get that set up out there and get started on that?
Hold on.
Jail.
Maggie's on top of it.
And so we're talking to somebody in the courtroom now. So let me see if we got. Okay, that's YYZ12 at juno.com. Okay. All right. Yes. So here's the original. So yeah. So have you done any Zoom stuff before? Okay. I mean, it looked like this, but so you see that right in the middle, that HTTPS:. Okay. So you're going to need to, on March 2nd at 1:30, get on either phone, iPhone, or laptop or something, and put that address in there, and then you'll be up on the screen like this. Okay?
Judge, who is that?
Michael Carter.
Judge, would you want me to come down in case we have
Go
other?
ahead.
I just said, do you need me to come down? Are there other people down there that we need to try to work, or is he the only one?
He's the only one right now, but it's of course not 9 o'clock. So he's trying to take care of his business and show up a little bit early. But Mr. Carter, do you want to talk to anybody in the DA's office? Okay. mentioned your name. He said doesn't want to talk to you.
Can you blame the guy?
Men tell me that all the time.
All right, so good. I see the jail here. Now if we just get Laura, you want to call down to Laura and see if we can get her to get on? And
Reset, I'll keep track of that and give it to Lauren later.
which one?
Let me just try to do it.
All right, I'll just keep her right
Just
here.
making sure, you get on here, so. Okay. She's getting on right now, Judge.
Right, good. Well, I see the jail there. If you want to get Shane Lamont,
Yes, sir. We're getting him right now.
there's Laura. All right.
Hey, Judge, if we could go back to Tabitha Walker. Tabitha Walker has a motion to revoke on a felony case number 2019 R0153.
Okay.
And Steve Longoria is her lawyer on that, it appears. So we'll be talking to him about this misdemeanor case as well.
Say, Laura, if I can get you to unmute. All
Okay,
right.
Judge.
Okay, so we're going to do, you have the paperwork for Shane Lamont.
Yes, sir.
I think we're about ready to do his.
Now, was Laura gonna put that on the screen share or whatever that's called?
If she just got it, I'm sure it's not.
I don't
Or
even
you-
know how to do the screen share, Travis.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll have to work on that for
Okay.
later.
Okay,
Does the judge have the paperwork?
I do not. I have nothing.
I have the paperwork,
Okay,
but Judge's signature is not on this paperwork yet.
right. That's probably why he's going to need it as we go over it, I would imagine.
Okay, so tell me what y'all want me to do then. Y'all want me to go ahead and see if this is his signature on here?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Lamont, can you hear?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay, and Mr. Anderson?
Yes, Judge. And Judge, if you don't mind, if I may address Mr. Lamont briefly in front of the court before we begin this.
Sure.
Mr. Lamont,
Yes, sir.
I'd met with you this morning, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I just got appointed to your case as of yesterday, correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
10 days is not passed, but you want to waive that 10-day option that you have before taking a plea, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd like to proceed today, even though we haven't had 10 days to look at anything or prepare, correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. Judge, that's all I have.
All right, then this is the state of Texas versus Shane Lamont. Is that the person in the jail there on the screen? Are you Mr. Lamont?
Yes, sir. Shane Edward Lamont.
Okay, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, a second offense. How do you plead to that?
Guilty.
All right, so we're going to have the clerk is going to hold up the form so you can see that.
Okay, the first form I'm going to hold up is a waiver and admonishment. You are pleading guilty on this document.
Yeah, just I guess just hold up that where his signature is.
Signature?
Yes,
It's in that document, sir?
Just wait a minute, Laura. Okay, so
Where is
Mr. Lamont, did you sign that?
Yes, sir.
And did Mr. Anderson explain all that to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and by signing that, you're giving up your right to a trial.
Yes, sir.
And if I accept the recommendation between you and the DA's office, you won't be able to appeal this.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
My rights.
And Mr. Anderson, do you think your client understands his rights and is able to waive them?
I do, Judge.
All right, so I'll approve the waiver. What's the recommendation?
Oh, I'm sorry, 110 days in the Austin County Jail with credit for 110 days already served. This sentence to run concurrent with a Montgomery County sentence, 90-day driver's license suspension, payment of the fees and other matters is set forth in the judgment.
And Mr. Anderson, is that the agreement?
Judge, yes, that's the agreement. It's at $50 a month beginning February of 21.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Laban, do you understand that recommendation or have any questions about it?
No, sir, I understand completely.
All right, so before I approve that, Laura, do you have anything else that you need to ask him?
No, that's it, sir. Unless you want me to go over the judgment with him. I mean, y'all pretty much done that.
Right.
And Judge, may I add one thing?
Sure.
Because he also signed a release of a court deposit. He has $135 in a court deposit that he's releasing to be added to the payment of the fees. And so we would ask that the court sign that as well to have that release so that that can be added to his fees that he owes.
That's correct, Your Honor. That deposit will be applied toward his fees.
All right, I'll approve that. And then Laura, so you have everything signed by Mr. Anderson and Mr. Laban that you need signed?
Yes, sir. The only thing that was unsigned was the certified bill of costs.
Okay.
That
So-
was returned unsigned, but the total amount of those fees is on the judgment, so I don't see an issue with that.
Okay. So if the clerk's all right with that, in the future, we'll just have to remember to send that form to the jail also. All right, anybody else have anything with Mr. Lamont's case?
Does the clerk's office need to go over how he's going to pay and all that stuff with him?
I can on the judgment form.
I was just asking if you need to. Normally we do, so I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if that's been gone over.
I
with
do
him.
when they're in front of me and I'm fingerprinting. That's why on the judgment, it's pretty much laid out as they explained it to. They list your 110 days with 110 days credit. I don't know that he can see this, but it's $339.62, and then your $200 court appointed fees listed on your judgment sheet. You will get a copy of this, but here we have put a little asterisk next to it. That is where you will send a money order or cashier's check, and your payments do start February the 15th of this year at $50 a month. But
Yes,
you
ma'am.
will be, he will receive copies of these documents. If he ever has any question, also, he can call the courthouse and ask for extension 2233. I'll write that, make sure that that's marked on his, by the asterisks on that judgment in the center of the form.
And just so the court knows, Judge, when I was at the jail going over this document with him, I actually went over that part where he sends the money to him or to the court. I showed him how it was in bold and what he had to do, so.
Okay. All right. So then I'll approve that agreement, accept your plea of guilty, find you guilty, sentence you to 110 days in jail with credit for time served, and the other fees and fines is set out in the judgment.
Hey, Judge, I'll send the documents up with Marie.
Okay, so I'll sign that and then we'll get it back out to the jail.
Thank you.
All right, so I tell you, while we have the jail here, was there anybody else in the jail that we were going to try to have on Zoom?
I have no idea, Judge.
I don't think so, Judge. This is the only one for today's misdemeanor docket.
Because we had, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 7 people in jail that were on the docket, and we've taken care of 1. So,
I believe the rest of them are the ones that have the felony cases, and we've asked the court to reset those other ones.
all right. So Laura, we'll get. So Laura, we'll send resets are going to be sent out to the jail. The DA's office is going to take those to the jail, get them signed, and get those resets back to you. All right, I think Mr. Garvey was the next one up. So, Mr. Garvey.
Judge, we had a Justin Manley that should have his paperwork over there. Did you receive Manley's paperwork back, Travis?
I had 2 packages, and I think I put them on Ben's desk, 2 yellow manila envelopes from the jail. I didn't think one was Sam King, which is a felony, but I thought the other one was another felony.
Either of those
Okay,
are
Justin Manley signed yesterday evening.
Okay, that's on a motion to revoke.
I don't show any paperwork back on him. Does he have it? Does the jail have it?
Yes, we do have it, but his lawyer has not gone over it with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I did yesterday. I talked to him on the phone yesterday,
Okay.
and he did sign yesterday. They actually emailed it to me, and I emailed it to Travis.
All right, let me check my email, and if the jail can get Justin Manley up to the Zoom room, then we'll see if we can dispose of his case on a motion to revoke.
Okay, hold on 1 second then, okay?
Okay, well, while you're doing that, so Mr. Garvey, what about Angela King?
Okay, Miss King is on. She owes is court costs on her probation of about $500, and as soon as she pays that, she will have completed everything according to Miss Pacheco.
All right, so looking up at, see, probation. I see 2 probation officers. I don't. So is there a current motion to revoke out there on Angela King? Oop, and you're still muted, Teresa.
Okay, yes, there's still a motion to revoke pending.
All right, so if we can just pass this,
We can just continue until she pays in full.
but I can't understand what you're saying.
We can just continue her until she pays in full.
Okay. So
Judge,
then
I would request that she be reset for a couple of months to see if she can come up with the balance due.
okay, so how are we going to get her to sign that reset?
I can send it to her if the court notifies me, and she's on here now. If the court wants to give her a date.
Oh, she's okay. Is that,
Yes.
that
Hi.
Angela? Okay.
Hello.
Good. Okay, so let's look at a date. How much money then does Miss King owe to take care of everything?
It's
think
500 and something.
560, maybe
525.36.
525.
525.36.
Okay.
And does she owe probation anything?
No,
No,
she's
she's paid in
finished with
full.
everything with probation except that court cost.
Okay, so $525.36 takes care of everything. Is that right?
That's my understanding. Yes, Your Honor.
Does anybody know anything differently?
That's correct.
I'm reviewing the case now.
And it's say, Laura, as far as you know, is that
As
what's
far
open?
as I know, that's what she owes in court costs right now.
525.36?
Yes, sir. $525.36.
All right, so Miss King, when can you get $525.36?
Within a month or 2 months, just to be on the safe side.
What about March 25th?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Garvey, if we can get you to send us an email to this address.
Okay.
That'll be March 26th at 9 o'clock, Judge.
March 25th.
March
Okay.
25th.
No, March 25th, 25.
Okay.
So Ms. King, you'll be set for a court date on March 25th, but if it's all paid off ahead of time, that should take care of it.
Okay.
Okay, so Ms. King, if you just stay on the Zoom meeting till we get that email from Mr. Garvey to confirm that.
Okay. I will.
Just hang tight with us here.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Garvey, what about Joseph Rivera?
Judge, that one is going to have to be reset.
Okay. How far out do we need to reset that one?
Judge, before we reset that, can me and Mr. Garvey discuss that case?
I actually discussed that with Mr. Kane, and he's also talked to, I believe, the grandmother or mother of Mr. Rivera.
Okay.
But Calvin, we've kind of got a different plan. We want to run by you to see if we can resolve that Joseph Rivera case.
Okay, well then let's just reset him then.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'd like to talk to you about. Before we do it, can we talk?
Sure.
Okay.
Judge, while they talk, I have another client that's present. If we could get her reset.
Who is that?
Megan Schubert.
Okay, so Megan Schubert, how far out are you requesting her to be reset?
That May 25th.
Well, we have a new motion an amended motion to revoke on that case. We need to set her for next week. We may be issuing a warrant for her.
Okay, now I show the current case, the one that ends in 35318 is just, it says arraignment. So is that a motion to revoke?
I believe she's on probation with us.
She is on probation. Can we do at least a couple weeks? I have time to come talk to Travis.
We need to talk quicker than that because I think we're filing a motion to issue a warrant on her. So let's set her for next week so we can visit about her.
Okay.
So if we set it on the 4th, what do you anticipate happening on the 4th?
Either, and as a matter of fact, John, I've sent an email to John to try to resolve it. Either it be resolved or we'll ask that she be placed into custody.
I mean, if it's not resolved, there's just gonna be a warrant issued for her?
That's probably correct, yes.
I will come up to the office today if you can talk today.
Here.
Okay.
So Judge, are you able to put me and Mr. Garvey into another room?
Let's see if we have any other cases with Mr. Garvey first. So the same thing, Mr. Garvey, we can get you to send an email here on Ms. Schubert.
You mean me, Judge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, Judge. For February 4th?
February 4th.
9 o'clock. Go send an email February 4th to the county court of law.
Okay, so then back with Mr. Garvey, we show a Justin Manley. And with Justin Manley, Mr. Garvey represents him on a misdemeanor, and Mr. Anderson represents him on a felony. Would it be cleaner to have one attorney on all his cases?
Yes, sir.
Makes no difference to us, Judge. I know Mr. Garvey's representing him on this misdemeanor motion to revoke. And then he was indicted yesterday on a new felony case.
I wasn't aware of the new felony, Judge.
Well, is anything going to happen to the misdemeanor while the felony's pending?
I don't know what the felony is. Can you enlighten me what the felony is?
Felony is a new possession of methamphetamine charge that he was indicted on yesterday. The misdemeanor motion to revoke, of course, is on a case that he had pled guilty to and was placed on probation several months ago.
Now on Justin Manley, I've gotten the revocation papers. So do we want to proceed on the misdemeanor?
State's ready to proceed on the misdemeanor motion to revoke that you have in your hand. Yes, sir.
All right. So
I would, Judge, I would request of Mr. Manley if he wants to proceed with the misdemeanor since he just got indicted on the felony.
He's up on the screen.
Because I believe his expectation was he was going to get out today.
Yes, sir.
No, Calvin, when I sent you the email with this information yesterday or last evening, I mentioned in there that he had been indicted. He's got actually two new misdemeanor cases and the new felony case. We're going to reject the two new misdemeanor cases and proceed only on the felony drug case that he was arrested for about a month ago and that he has been indicted for.
Mr. Manley, do you want to reset till after we find out what's going on with the felony, or do you want to proceed with the motion to revoke today?
Proceed with the motion to revoke.
Okay. Then,
Okay.
Judge, I'm okay with proceeding with the motion to revoke.
Okay. So then, Mr. Manley, as long as you understand that my understanding is that we can dispose of this misdemeanor, but there's going to be something else holding you in jail. So you probably will not get out today.
Judge, may I ask a question? Because did you say I was appointed on the felony case?
That's what I've been told. So
Okay. Is part of what he's fixing to plead true to an accusation that he committed this felony?
No, I don't.
No.
think so.
Okay, all right, I just, before we go forward, I want to, if I've got to represent him on a felony, I want to make sure he's not pleading true to something that's going to inhibit him on a felony.
I looked at it yesterday and it looked like it was failure to pay fees and it was positive drug tests while he has been on probation. Not a new
That's fine.
charge.
I just didn't know if it was a new charge for the reasoning.
No, because then I would have been aware of it if it was part of his motion to revoke, but no, he just got indicted yesterday.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, and then I just want to make sure with Laura. Laura, you don't have the originals on the motion to revoke, do you?
No, sir, I don't have anything on that, that defendant.
Okay. I've got a copy. So eventually is the copy going to be good enough for the original to be an original document?
And Judge, I have emailed Laura a copy of what you have in your hand just now.
Where is the original?
The original would still be out at the jail coming this way.
Yes,
But it's the original of an email that I had sent to Calvin and to the jail yesterday.
All right. Well, if we go through with this and approve this, am I going to wait until I get the original from the jail, or am I going to sign this copy?
I would suggest to the court that you sign the copy you have in your hand, and then that would be our original for the court.
Okay. So
I would agree to that, Judge.
All right. So these fingerprints will be good enough?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Then this is the state of Texas versus Justin Manley. Mr. Manley, I see you on the Zoom there from the jail. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Manley, you were put on probation for terroristic threat back in December of 2019. The state is saying you violated some of the terms of your probation. How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Probably true.
And I couldn't hear what you said.
True.
Okay. All right, so I accept your plea of true. Is there a recommendation? You're muted, Mr. Kane.
It should be for the amount of time that's set on the judgment, credit for time already served, payment of the fees is set forth in that order.
Okay,
That's our understanding agreement, Judge, that he's pleading for 115 days plus cost and fees outstanding.
Okay,
and he's getting credit for 115 days.
And so, Mr. Manley, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll again accept your plea of true, revoke your probation, sentence you to 115 days in jail, credit for 115 days served, and then you'll pay the money to the clerk and the probation department at the rate of $50 a month.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So I think that's it for Mr. Manley.
All right.
And Judge, I believe that's all we have for the people in the jail, so I would think the jail could be excused off the Zoom meeting.
Judge, I can go to the break room now with with Ben.
Yep.
Yeah, we still need to discuss someone in the jail. So
we just want to make sure we got the email on Angela King before.
Yeah, I'm working on that now, Judge. Let me finish that then, Judge.
Did you get my email on Ms. Schubert?
Ben, did you say we have somebody else in the jail we need to deal with?
Calvin's client.
Acosta.
No, Rivera.
Oh, Rivera, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, Joseph Rivera is the one that Ben and Calvin were going to go into the breakout room to discuss, correct?
Yeah, in just a minute. Let me finish this letter for the court.
Yeah, just that was Angela. So Angela King, March 25th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. I'm working on it now.
Do y'all need anybody else for the jail?
Possibly.
Okay.
We can call over to Maggie if we do. We don't need anybody right this moment.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Well, and so, Mr. Anderson, I see there's two John Andersons on the screen, one I recognize and one I don't. So,
Judge, that's Mr. Ventura, Mauricio Ventura. He is down in my conference room on my laptop. That's why my name pops up twice.
okay. So he's cause number 20 CR 36259. What are we doing with Mr. Ventura?
Well, Judge, I haven't had any discovery yet on this case. It's a DWI. I would need a reset to be able to get discovery and have a chance to talk to either Mr. Nystrom or Mr. Kane or Ms. Robinson about the case, Judge.
What about the end of May, May 27th?
Sounds perfect, Judge.
So if I can get
We agree, Judge.
somebody in your office to
Yes, Judge.
send an email there.
I've got the one I shoot.
John,
Okay. And
oh, sorry, Judge.
yeah, so just send that email saying Mr. Ventura will be reset to May 27th at 9 o'clock. And then going back to Mr. Garvey and Miss King, we've received that email. So Miss King, Mr. Garvey sent over something resetting your case to March 25th. And the idea is that you'll get paid $525.36.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
So if you get that all paid ahead of time, just check with Mr. Garvey, and then you probably will not have to return. If it's not paid, then
Okay.
you have to do the same thing you did today. Just come back on Zoom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So then,
Judge, did you
wait,
say?
let me wait. Let me finish up with Mr. Garvey. Okay. So I think Ms. King, that's all we need from you. So you can leave, and then Mr. Garvey is the only one you have left. The one that you're going to go in the breakout room with Mr.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Nystrom on Mr. Rivera. So I'm going to see if I can send the two of you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank
John,
you.
are you appointed or are you hired on Mauricio Ventura? John, do you know?
I think I'm appointed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think I've clicked the breakout rooms for Mr. Garvey and Mr. Nystrom. I don't see Mr. Nystrom anymore. I still see Mr. Garvey.
Yeah, I'm still here for some reason.
If you go click on breakout rooms, Calvin, it may send you the invite.
Okay.
Mr. Nystrom said that you sent him to the waiting room instead of the breakout room.
All right.
Put it back in the waiting room.
Okay, I'm not anywhere.
I mean, what I've been told to do, I'm on the screen. I see Ben Nystrom.
He said he's in a waiting room, not a breakout room.
I know, but I'm telling you what I was told to do. And
Okay.
I got somebody here who's telling me, I guess, the right way to do it. So go into Mr. Nystrom. Just wait till I find him. Go into Mr. Nystrom.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Go to the bottom where it says breakout rooms. Okay, do add room, add a room. Okay, then go to and then move to room 2, and then go to whoever it was, Garvey. Go to Garvey, and then move to room 2. Okay, now we should be there.
Okay, so I've done the updated thing, but I still see both Mr. Nystrom and Mr. Garvey.
Judge, whatever you did Monday when you sent us to the break room, I would say do that again.
I'm trying to do that.
They should both have a message to say.
Okay, do you have a message to say join breakout room? I still see Mr. Nystrom too, so.
I don't see anything, but let me minimize and see.
Yeah, it just brings up.
Mr. Nystrom's program just froze on him, and so he's going to have to get out and then come back into the session.
I can tell everybody here that Ms. Tigert came over this morning and told us all how much she loves Zoom.
It's a good time to talk about that.
Where am I? Judge, what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and mute, and then I'll just call Ben on the phone. And Ben is already muted, so I'll just call him on the phone. Okay, Ben is gone.
Okay.
Right. He had to get out of the program so that he can get back in, but he said he'll be fine with your phone call.
Okay. Then let me mute myself and I'll just call him.
Like Mr. Longoria is watching a stand-up comedy routine.
Well, I'm not muting.
You're all out of order.
Okay, so let's make sure you got the email on that. Okay. Yeah. So do I need to? See here if we got, I don't know if John Elick and Patrick Butler can hear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Butler, Mr. Elick has sent an email resetting your case to May the 6th.
Yep.
Okay. So if you're aware of that, we got the email. So you're free to go, and you just keep in contact with Mr. Elick. And on May 6th, we'll probably do the same thing we did today. Hopefully more smoothly though.
Yeah, that sounds very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so now let's tell you what, let's go back. I see Mr. Ventura is still there. Have we gotten anything from email on Mauricio Ventura? Okay, so Mr. Anderson, we're still waiting for the email for Mr. Ventura so that he can go.
Yes, Judge. Is it May 27th? I was just trying to clarify that. May 27th at 9 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay, it'll be coming in just a second.
All right, so just hold on till we get that. All right, so Mr. Longoria, who do you got?
I have
William Conroy.
William Conroy should be a dismissal. I talked to Ben yesterday. Should be a dismissal. And I have a Tabitha Sanchez that I think we were going to reset. Oh, also, I think on Tabitha Sanchez, we did the reset already. She's reset to March 18th.
Okay, so do we know if we got Tabitha Sanchez? Have we gotten an email on that? She said it was sent yesterday. So Karina's looking for the email on Sanchez. What about William Conroy?
That should be dismissed.
Is the DA's office agreeing with that?
Sylvia, do you have that dismissal?
That was with Ben yesterday.
I do have the reset for March the 18th at 9 o'clock.
It's on Tabitha Sanchez. Right?
Okay.
Judge,
so-
if you'll let me, Ben is on the phone with Calvin right now. I may need to go to his office or check with Sylvia to see if we have where the dismissal might be up here in our office, if it's up here.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Longo, we did get the clerk's office has that reset for the female client.
Right.
So she's taken care of. And the DA is looking for the dismissal on William Conroy. Do you have anybody else?
I don't believe so, Judge. Tell me if otherwise, but I think that's all I've worked on.
I don't show anybody on the docket with your name on them. So. I guess as soon as I get the dismissal, that's all we need.
All right. If I was hoping to talk to Mr. Kane about Tabitha Sanchez. Do we want to do that now, or do you want to call me, or?
Let me call you in a few minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we're just waiting for the dismissal.
All right.
Your Honor, can we bring Ben back to the meeting?
Right, Judge, can you let Ben back in from the waiting room?
Please hit delete waivers.
All right, which case are we talking about?
Joseph Rivera is we have agreed to a PR bond with the primary condition that he stay away from the complaining witness.
And Judge, we're asking, oh, go ahead.
And we're asking the court to admonish him in that regard.
Heavily.
What's the name of the victim?
Lucy Navarro.
Lupe Navarro?
Lucy, as in I love Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. Trouble is, that's what Mr. Rivera has been saying.
Quite a bit. But no, we're going to release him on that, just with the understanding that if he violates that bond condition, the state's more than likely going to be filing on him for that. And so what we're going to do is we'll prepare a reset form and have that brought down to you, Judge, and so you can sign it, and then we'll get that over to the jail for him to sign. And we just need a date for him at this point. I would suggest about 4 or 5 months out.
And Judge, I've just called the jail and they're bringing Joseph Rivera into the Zoom room if y'all want to visit with him.
Yes, I would like that, Judge, if you could admonish him on that.
And then is the DA's office going to prepare that PR bond with those conditions?
Yeah.
Is that looks like a reset. So does that have the conditions on there?
I'm going to write it on here. Yeah. Where'd my reset docket go?
Well, I'll tell you, while we're waiting for that, do we anticipate any other pleas that we need Laura to be involved with? Or is there any more paperwork that's done for anybody?
I think that there might potentially be at some point some kind of agreement between Mr. Longoria and Mr. Nystrom on the William Conroy case, but it was not going to be a complete dismissal. That's something that Mr. Nystrom needs to talk to Mr. Longoria about. I talked to Mr. Nystrom when he was out of the Zoom and was looking at that file, and it was not quite as straightforward as
I just need to
as
know
they
that
thought.
Stephen's client is okay with the surrender of the firearm.
Oh, if that was it, I'm sorry, Ben. I thought I had told you yesterday. I thought I sent an email or a message. Yes, he's okay with the surrender of the firearm.
All right, we'll draft that up and we'll get that case dismissed. His POM is already dismissed.
Sorry, I thought I sent you a message on it. My fault.
You're fine. I'll just blame you. It's fine.
Brandy was.
All right, so, okay, so Ms. Robinson, you think there might be another plea that we need Laura to still be in the meeting?
Not that I know of. I just wanted to make sure that they handled that case. I didn't know for sure what the outcome was going to be.
Okay. All right, so I guess Laura's on mute, so you can stay on mute and we'll flag you down if we need you for anything else. All right, so I guess Mr. Anderson's back. Mr. Anderson, do you have anybody else?
Not that I know of, Judge, not unless there is anybody that hasn't got an attorney yet. Mr. Rivera, I don't know if he's gonna have an attorney, or Karen Strider.
Mr. Rivera has me as counsel.
Okay.
We need to get, sorry.
Go ahead.
We need to get Ms.
Okay,
Strider appointed somebody today if we can, Judge.
And didn't you say she has an attorney on a felony case?
No, she has felony cases out of another county.
I see.
Here in our county, she just has this misdemeanor, but we're hoping to get an attorney that we can work out something for her before her next court date and try and get her released to the other county that has the felonies.
Okay. All right, so who do we have there at the jail?
That's Mr. Rivera, Judge.
And Judge, Mr. Kane's video also froze, and so he is going to be exiting out and then coming back in through the waiting room. So you may need to let him back into the system in a second.
Judge, was there going to be any paperwork on the defendant that is in the jail right now?
I think Mr. Nystrom has just a reset with bond conditions.
Okay, Judge.
I've admitted Mr. Kane, but I don't see him.
I'm assuming he's still having problems because even though his video should be on, it's not.
We'll just have Teresa stand in for him.
They look a
Right.
little alike.
If Travis can hear me, he just needs to unplug his camera and plug it back in.
I'm Travis Kane. Can I help you?
Okay, good.
Let me go tell him that if that's okay. Judge, Travis is trying to fix his camera, but I might have to go in there and help him.
Okay. Well, and I guess, and Mr.
I
Nystrom.
think we can proceed, Judge, with me and Mr. Nystrom and Mr. Rivera.
Okay. So Mr. Nystrom, you have the bond conditions and the reset.
Like I said, I'm working on it. I'm getting it down to you.
Well, I mean, but do you have the date?
I wanted a date about 4 to 5 months out, whatever the court would approve.
About June 17th. How's that sound? Well, let's see what we can do here. Mr. Rivera, can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Rivera, you know what you're currently charged with?
For the misdemeanors and the felony, yes, sir.
Okay, just the misdemeanor is all we're doing today. So do you know what you're charged with the misdemeanor?
I'm assuming family violence and unlawful restraint, I believe.
Okay, so and one thing that Mr. Rivera just raised that I wasn't aware of is, does he have a felony case pending also?
Yes, Judge, I can go over. He was jailed on January 3rd for a sexual assault. Assault causes bodily injury, family violence, and unlawful restraint. The state has not filed any of those cases at this time.
Okay, but does he have a bond on the sexual assault case?
It was set by Judge Yancey at $100,000.
And now are you asking that I give him a PR bond on the sexual assault case also?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Since that's gonna be a felony, I want Judge Steinhauser to sign off on the sexual assault PR bond. I can do it on the misdemeanor offense if you want to proceed with that now.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Rivera, I'm only doing the misdemeanor case.
Okay.
As I understand, the DA is going to recommend that the felony bond be converted to a personal bond, so you'd be released today. But I'm not doing that, so it may take another couple steps to get there.
Okay,
So
okay, no problem. I just want to keep my case.
All right, the case that I'm hearing is the misdemeanor. I understand the state's going to recommend that you get a personal bond, a PR bond, so you'd be released from jail on the misdemeanor, but not on the felony yet.
Okay.
And one of the conditions on your bond is that you not have any contact or communication with Lucy Rivera.
Navarro.
Navarro?
Yes, sir.
All right, so in the misdemeanor case, if I approve that, you'd be released on the misdemeanor as long as you stay away from Miss Navarro.
Okay, I can totally agree with that. And if there's any way I can, possibly get that for the felony, trust me, I will not have no contact with her. I have a child, her birthday's coming up, and I'm missing out on a lot, sir. And I've learned my lesson the hard way. I just got into a small altercation with her, and I'm not gonna lie, Judge, I'm being completely honest.
That's enough, Mr. Rivera.
Okay, I'm just being honest.
Okay,
I understand, but
now is the person you had the child with, is that Lucy Navarro?
No, that's with another female.
Okay. So again, is the agreement that on the misdemeanor, Mr. Rivera be released on a PR bond with the condition that he not have any contact with Lucy Navarro, and we'll reset the case to June 17th. So is that the state's recommendation?
Yes, Judge.
And is that Mr. Garvey, is that your agreement?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Rivera, I'm going to prove that on the misdemeanor case, and there'll be something will be sent out to you at the jail to sign. And again, what you're going to be signing is going to say a PR bond. Your case is reset to June 17th, and you're not to have any contact or communication with Lucy Navarro.
Okay.
And then I understand the state will be communicating with the district judge about the felony case.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Rivera?
Just about the felony case. Do you know if there's any?
We're going to work on that one, Mr. Rivera.
Okay. All right, no problem.
There's a different judge that handles the felonies.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so that should be it then for Mr. Rivera, but he'll be sent something to sign.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing, Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
We're going to try to get that done today or tomorrow, but if we can't, that judge will be here on February 2nd.
For felony case?
Yes.
Okay, February is the 2nd, you said?
Yeah, if we can't get it done before then, he'll be here on the 2nd.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank
And
you.
I will request, if you're still in jail, I'll request the district attorney's office to bring you over.
Oh, okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Judge,
you.
could you please let Mr. Kane back into the meeting if he's in the waiting room?
Okay, and then Mr. Anderson twins. Oops, I see one.
I don't think it says.
So, Mr. Anderson, we got the email on Mr. Ventura.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so he's good to go. All right, so I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna run through the docket. Everyone has to follow along, make sure we got everything taken care of. The first one, and Ms. Lozano is listening here too. So the first one is August Roberts. He's in the jail. He's going to be reset to July 7th. And the DA's office is going to get that reset form to him.
And Judge, I just got appointed to a case for him. I don't know if I'm on the misdemeanor also, but I know that I'm on the felony.
Yeah, the misdemeanor is just a capious profile, so.
Oh, okay, then that's not something I'm on probably.
We'll put you down, Calvin, then as his lawyer on the felony case.
Yeah.
All right, the next one on the dock was Angela King. She's been reset to March 25th. We have the email on that. Megan Schubert has been reset to next week, February 4th. And do we have the email on that one?
Yes.
Okay, so we have the email on that. Justin Manley.
That's the one we pled out on the motion revoked today, Judge.
Okay. So I'll get that down to the clerk. Okay, Samantha Horlichka did not appear. So I want to call her name and issue a warrant on her.
I'm sorry, Judge, are you asking if we do?
Yeah, did she get?
Yeah,
enough
she received
notice?
notice on her last reset form. She signed for it.
Okay, so then we'll call the name of Samantha Horlichka. No response, a bond to be forfeited in the capious issue. Next, William Conroy. I understand there'll be a dismissal coming. I do not have it yet. And next one is Drew Minter.
That one was reset yesterday with Karina via email.
You got that?
April 22nd.
Okay, so he's been reset to April 22nd. Shane Lamond pled out. Mauricio Ventura has been reset. We got that email. Michael Carter came to court today. He signed the reset and got the Zoom information. Derry Bailey.
When was Mr. Carter reset for, Judge?
March 2nd. Okay, so Derry Bailey is going to be reset. The DA is going to get the form out to the jail for him. Veronica Mitchell. Mr. Nystrom, did she get notice?
Yes, Judge, she received notice on her last reset form.
All right, so we'll call the name of Veronica Mitchell. No response, her bond will be forfeited and capious issue. Okay, Tabitha Walker has been reset, is that right? Ms. Lozano?
She's in jail, Judge, and that's the one Steve Longoria represents her on a felony case.
Okay, so Okay, so then I guess if we can get Ms. Longoria, can you send us an email to reset Tabitha Walker?
I will, Judge. I apologize. I thought she had just had the felonies, so I hadn't even followed up with her yet. So I'll get with Mr. Kane and figure out what we're going to do, and I'll send you an email on her.
Okay, so let's see, how about at the end of May, like May 27th?
I'll be
That'll be
fine.
fine.
Okay, so then just, guess Mr. Longoria, don't leave yet till we get that email on her.
All right.
Patrick Butler has been reset to May 6th. Karen Strider, we're going to get her an appointed attorney. And Joseph Rivera did the PR bond. So anybody else, anybody has?
Judge, did you appoint a lawyer already for Karen Strider?
We're gonna get that form out to her. I've not.
Judge, I would ask for the court to go ahead and pick a lawyer and let's get him appointed, because she's got some mental concerns, and if we try to send paperwork to her in Fort Bend County, it's gonna get screwed up. We'd ask the court to go ahead and appoint somebody if we can.
Has somebody represented her before? See, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Garvey, and Mr. Longoria, so we can do a rock, paper, scissors if we want.
I don't think I want to say who had her before, Judge.
Wait. Wait. Who just came in? Okay. Come on in. Ms. Horlishka just came in. So did you want to talk to any of the DAs?
I don't think I need to. I called, the lady called me yesterday and I already paid $300. I talked to the
Okay. And when you say you talked to the lady, do you know who you talked to?
I don't remember her name. I think my mom.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to flip back on the docket number 5, Samantha Horlishka is here. Said she talked to a lady yesterday about paying some money. So did anybody talk to her? Mr. Nystrom?
Generally, I don't sound too feminine, and I don't think Brandy talked to her. She's the only.
Okay, so if I can get one of probation officers to unmute.
I did not talk to her.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, so Ms. Horlishka thinks she talked to Roxanne yesterday.
Yes, I believe that Samantha only owes court fees.
Do you know how much she owes?
I think she's like,
That would, where did Laura go? I don't know what she owes in court fees.
Ms. Horlishka, how much do you think you owe?
I think she said 220 somewhere plus 67. I paid $300 on December.
She's thinking it's around $227.
It shows on her on the docket 257.70.
257.7. Okay, and does she just need to pay that and that takes care of it?
Yes, that's it. That's all she's got left.
Okay, so Ms. Horlishka, when do you think you can get $257.70 paid?
It'll be in payments for sure. I get paid next time on the 3rd of February. I plan on making payments.
Okay, how much are you going to pay then?
Probably around
Okay, well, probably have you ever used Zoom, what we're doing up here? You have an iPhone?
No, I have a phone.
You have a laptop you can get access to? Okay. So we're going to reset you for March 2nd.
Okay.
And there's an address here.
Okay.
But you'll have to log in through that. And when you log in, it's going to look like this. Okay. You'll see that.
Okay.
And I'm going to write down here that you owe $257.70.
Sorry, this is all new to me.
So you pay something next week, and then when you come back on March 2nd, we'll find out how much you still owe.
Okay.
Okay. And so you're going to sign this, put an address, phone number, and an email address. Okay. Okay. All right. So back with Karen Strider. Has anybody ever represented her before?
Yes, sir. Mr. Longoria represented her last year on a case, and that was the last lawyer that represented her here in Austin County.
Okay. So any big conflicts that would prevent you from representing her again, Mr. Longoria?
I have a laundry list, but I think I'll do it, Judge.
Okay.
I
All
was
right.
gonna say, I think that was the one with the hour of screaming maybe, but
Right.
in court.
Well, I'm sure on Zoom she'll be well behaved.
I get enough of that at home, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
So the offense is
You
on-
do know this is being recorded, right?
Right.
It is what it is.
Okay, wait.
I just want to see
Wait,
so us
wait.
young lawyers can learn how to handle this type of situation, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say again.
The offense that he's currently here on today, he already bonded out on in December. He was arrested on those two new offenses in January, so that's what he's currently in jail for. And so that's what you're authorizing the PR bond on, is
Okay.
the two new misdemeanors.
So he's already out on the sexual assault case?
No, he's currently to the sexual assaults, and then those cases is what he was just arrested on.
I think Travis is froze again.
And he was,
Oh,
I'll get with Travis. We're having issues with our webcams, I think.
Judge,
Okay. Just wait till I get, okay, yes, Mr. Kane?
talking about Joseph Rivera, we're going to reject that sexual assault case
Okay.
on Joseph Rivera, so he'll be just dealt with on a misdemeanor level. Matter of fact, Judge, if y'all can make a note on that reset PR bond, that the sexual assault case will be rejected by the DA's office if it's not on there.
I didn't leave a lot of room on the PR bond form, Judge.
Yeah. Why don't you just send a
Yeah, we'll send a separate.
send a separate note out for that?
Okay, is that gonna take care of the bond on that, Travis? Because he has $100,000 bond on that.
We will send a note out to the jail that we are rejecting that and he can be released on that charge.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so then you're gonna get this out to the jail?
Yeah, we'll just fax it to him like we usually do.
All right, so with that, is there anything else?
Judge, one thing, as the host, can you mute the jail's microphone?
All right, I just did.
Okay, because when they slam the door, we kind of hear that in the background sometimes.
Did we hear that screaming in the background?
No, I didn't. I did not hear it.
on Karen Strider, do you need an email from me also on her as far as getting appointed and what was her date?
Yeah, we don't have a date on her now, so
Next week is what we talked about.
okay. So we'll try to, so we're gonna have her on Zoom next week, right?
That's correct. And Mr. Longoria, that's one I needed to visit with you about.
Am I waiting for an email from?
No.
No, don't close out because I'm going to play the breakout rooms.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, are you going to be in the office? I'll come right now if you'll be there to talk about that case. To where we,
Come on over.
okay.
All right.
If you want to just Zoom with me, we can do that on the side after we get through this.
Hey, Judge, I don't know if you can do it, but if you just leave the meeting on, I think we can still talk.
Tell him I'm going to practice with some people on breakout rooms.
Well, if they want to keep,
If-
we can practice later on.
If
I'll
we
just come see
stay,
you in person.
right, because if we stay in this meeting, then it would all still stay recorded and stay transmitted to YouTube. So if you're going to talk privately about cases, this would not be the way to do it.
Okay.
Even if we went into separate meeting rooms or something, or breakout rooms?
If you can.
Yeah, breakout rooms are not recorded.
I don't see Mr. Anderson on here anymore.
And can the judge assign somebody else as the host?
He can.
I can put you in breakout rooms, but I don't see Mr. Anderson here anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. He's probably rushing over here, so we'll talk to him when he gets here.
Randy, do you want to talk about any felony cases for next week and go in a breakout room?
I don't have those ready yet. I'll need to talk to you about that this afternoon.
Okay.
Steven, can you call later about Janelle Smedley?
Janelle,
I got-
will call you later. Yeah,
Yeah, I got your email and text message about it. I hadn't had a chance to look at it yet.
that's fine. Yep, I'll do it.
All right, nothing else, and I'm going to end. Whoop.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
There.
You want somebody to stay on?
Mhm.
Okay, who do you want to?
I already messed. I'll call him back. I'll go back.
Well, who do you want?
Teresa, Robert, and Brandy and Ben.
Okay, so Teresa, Robert, Brandy, and Ben stay on.
Okay.
Stephen, you didn't make the cut.
Sorry, Stephen. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
I understand that sports metaphor, make the cut, by the way. I know what that means. Yeah.
Tell you what, you could hold down to the, hey, let's need to call somebody's name.
Okay. Can I talk to Bailiff real quick? There's a Veronica Mitchell that y'all need to call her name at the courthouse steps. Okay, thank you. Bye. Right. Okay, I'm gonna try to send y'all to a couple of breakout rooms. And I'm not sure, but I think when y'all want to leave, when I set y'all in a breakout room, it'll ask you to join. And then when you're in your breakout room, I think there's a button at the lower right hand, left hand, wherever, to leave the breakout room. So let's try that real quick.
Right.
I'm gonna send Teresa and Brandy into a breakout room real quick.
Okay.
And in the future, is Judge Leedy going to practice with the breakout rooms? Because,
Yes.
or are you going to be the one doing the breakout rooms?
I will not be doing the breakout rooms, Judge will, but I'll make sure once we get it fine tuned that I've got him on the same page.
Okay.
And he's
I was gonna
watching.
say, it would help to kind of practice with him probably if he's going to be the one doing it.
Yes. I just want to make sure it works first, and then we'll go from there. Because I think what the problem was, well, we'll see. Hold on. Let's see.
And do you want to kick the jail out of the meeting? Can you do that? I think they're done.
Hold on.
I'm still trying to figure out what those holes are from. Some really angry inmate on PCP.
Okay, did y'all get a message to join breakout room 3 or not?
No.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Okay, so then after, that's the one step I didn't tell you to do, was to open all rooms. And then they can go into the other room, but we'll make sure. And I'm gonna call Teresa and see if she can't get out of the breakout room.
So Jim, do you have the form to call somebody's name? You have that? Sorry? Do you have the form to sign to call somebody's name? I do not. Okay. You can, I guess, get that from Sylvia. I just, what I need is just one MTA. Yes.
Hey, are y'all talking? Can y'all hear each other? Okay, now see if y'all can both leave the room. You can tell her for y'all both to leave the room. Bye. Or if I would have hit close all rooms, it would have timed them down.
Okay.
But
Oh, is that when it gives them like the?
Yeah, a minute
60
countdown. Yeah, so let me see. Okay, Robert and Benjamin, did y'all hear each other fine? Teresa and Brandy, y'all can hear each other?
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
Benjamin and Robert, I'm gonna try to send y'all in.
Okay.
With Brandy, so she can pay attention. Hold on one second.
How come it still shows one error?
Because, yeah, that part I haven't figured out yet. And I think it's like the best thing is to just add a room. So we make sure that there's not anybody possibly able to go back into a room that shouldn't be. I'm thinking, I don't know. One second. Wait a minute, hold on. Which one did I have them at first? I forgot. I had them in 2, right? Did y'all, Randy, can you hear me?
Yep.
Did it say breakout room 2 when I sent you and Teresa? Or do you remember?
Breakout room 3 is what it said.
Okay, so hold on. So give me 1 second.
Okay, sorry, y'all. That was Travis.
Okay, so why is, and I think I was going to do Ben. Okay, how come Ben's not in there?
Does it matter if he's muted?
Okay, so maybe delete. Okay, I'm going to send y'all just real quick. Hold on, Brandy and, oh no, I already did Brandy and Teresa. Never mind, hold on. I just want to clear all the rooms and then go back. Let me start fresh. Okay, I need to write that down. Benjamin, Robert, and Brandy, I'm sending to breakout room 5. Okay. Scratch a piece of paper. Teresa, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And Benjamin's going to have to join, but I think he's on the phone with somebody right now. Yeah. I wonder if it's just their connection up there.
I bet it is.
So I wonder if I close here.
I have terrible lighting.
Hey, Teresa, go tell Robert for them to all, they can come back out, they can leave. Because then I need
Hey,
like,
Robert.
No, Robert, he can.
Hey, y'all leave the room. Tell them.
Get out of the closet.
Leave the room.